Good morning and welcome to the latest installment of New Arrivals at Princeton Record Exchange. It's a beautiful November morning, 2010, and today we're featuring one of the best collections we've had in quite some time. Over 3,500 meticulously curated records all out today at Princeton Record Exchange. This is one of the more difficult collections I've had to talk about. Again, I like to talk about things that are easy to encapsulate when people collect one type of music, but these are all over the place. So we got a lot of records. I'm obviously not going to have time to show you all of them, but I thought we'd just feature some of the covers. If you can come up with an easy, concise description, well, you're doing better than I am. But there's certainly a heavy emphasis on rock of all sorts. Classic rock, garage rock, especially a lot of garage rock comps, modern rock, German rock, prog rock, blues-oriented rock, lots of blues, oldies, just really very, very difficult to describe. When I asked the buyer, what should I say about this, he said, well, he was buying records from the late 70s through the 80s and into the 90s, buying pretty much everything of interest that he could find. The 60s and 70s rock don't tend to be the originals. They're early reissues. Obviously the 80s and 90s, when he was buying, would be the originals. So there's not a huge amount of rarities. I'm going to show you a little bit of a taster in a few minutes, but all of these records tend to be, oh, they're nice records, so they're not super cheap, $1 or so. But they're all in like the, $2.99 to $9.99 range, something like that. I was talking to one of our customers when we were just putting them out last night, saying, well, how would you describe this? And he said, incredible. So I'm just going to call it an incredible selection of just about all sorts of different types of music. Got the Move On in the background. There's lots of private pressings, as we say, stuff you just don't see around that wasn't mass-produced. And there are lots of imports in here. On any big collection, I usually see a couple of titles I haven't seen before, but in this one, I think there's over 100 easily that I haven't seen. The few people who've been in so far looking at are just going crazy because it's just, I don't know, the kind of stuff that is really exciting to see if you're a collector. You tend to see the same titles over and over again. And there's a lot of different stuff in here. Most of these records, as I've said, are in the kind of mid-priced tier. There is a handful of titles, particularly 90s oriented, when vinyl was really not being made that much, that we are going to be putting out at higher prices. I did hesitate to show you these because it's going to take us a day or two to get the bulk out. They still have to be condition checked, and there's a little more processing with the rare records, but I thought there were enough of interest that you guys would want to see them, and don't hold us to it if they're not here in stock today. They'll be out tomorrow or the next day. We should get them all out by the weekend. And I didn't even show you any of the jazz. There's about 600 jazz records in this collection, but I did want to emphasize at least this really nice assortment of mosaic records, which, as you collectors know, are getting harder to find on vinyl. So it's a nice series of, I don't know, maybe 30 or so of those, as well as lots of great reissues out in our other jazz section. Just pick another bin at random, see what we come up with. A lot of Van de Graaff Generator, a lot of John Mayall, Hendrix, as you would expect, Bonzo Dog Band, Gentle Giant, metal-oriented things. I think I saw 5 Bonzo Dog Band records. Dylan, of course. These records, I do anticipate going fairly quickly. We'll put the pressure sales on you a little bit and say, when people see this kind of really interesting collection, these records don't tend to stay around too long. Always fun to see the different covers. T-Rex. Alright, I'm probably running out of time, so I'll just maybe hit one more bin, give you a few more covers. Some of that great blues-oriented thing, or Vandergraaf generator. So, alright, well, we'll cut it short and say, as I say, impossible to describe collection. You can see the kind of titles that are here, and we hope you get a chance to come and browse and shop some of these fine records at Princeton Record Exchange in Princeton, New Jersey, November 2010.